This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by trainer Jamie Moore here in Manchester. Jamie, straight into it. You know you're a busy man, a busy night ahead for you as well. Four fighters on the card, so let's just start off and work our way up. Akib Fiaz's return. What are you hoping to see now? He's put everything behind him and get back into the ring.
Yeah, mate, I'm just glad he's back active. Basically, it's just a run out, just to get his first time he's ever had this amount of time off out of the ring. 16 months it'll be come fight night. By far the longest break he's ever had. So he needs the round. So basically, it's just an opportunity for him to get in there, back under the lights, get some rounds under his belt, and then once he gets this one out there, then we're back in action and back to what he was doing before.
Just ask Jamie, obviously, because a lot of people were wondering what ended up happening between himself, Kane Baker, and the board and the whole betting issue. What can you tell me? What do you understand with it?
The Boxing Board of Control did an inquiry, and everyone was found to have done no wrongdoing. So they looked into the betting patterns and stuff like that, and the betting commission did a full investigation, and there was found to be no wrongdoing. So I'm just glad that it was all sort of cleared up and they can move on from it.
I know Kane Baker's been pretty vocal over social media, so is that a fight we could still see?
Mate, I'd love that fight for him, because I'd it sort of settled the score, because obviously the fight wasn't really meaningful in any sort of way last time, and even though nobody wanted that type of controversy, it sort of made it a little bit more appealing. So I know there's no love lost between them, so we'll see what happens. But Akib, I just want Akib involved in big fights, and whether you deem Kane Baker a big fight or not, I don't really think that's the case. But I just want Akib to start moving on his career now.
Conor Tudsbury, what should everybody expect to see from the big man on Saturday night?
I'd say excitement, explosiveness. He's got the pedigree. He was on GB for years, and he can really hit. He's powerful. He's also very skillful. But he's working on his craft, and the flip from the amateurs to the pros. It's not straightforward especially when you're that high octane sort of explosiveness. You need to learn to navigate the rounds differently, and he's come on in leaps and bounds in this camp. I just think it's an unbelievably beautiful story. The fact that he's been with Nige since he was like 9 years old, and now it's come full circle and he's turning pro with us. So it'll be an emotional night tomorrow, especially for Nige, because they're so close. It's like he's like a son to Nige. So it really will be a beautiful moment, and I'm excited to get going with him. He's going to be good to watch. He's very explosive.
Alpha middle miss as well. Again, talking about him, what should everybody expect to see on Saturday night?
Yeah, Alfie, again, he's having his second pro fight, and again, he's the first one to turn pro from my amateur boxing club, Warden ABC. So again, it's a good story, and it's good that they're all able to train alongside each other, and they're all different styles. So in a way, they're all able to look at what the other people are doing and adapt and sort of mould their styles and learn from different ones in the gym. So it's a great time in the gym, to be honest.
And obviously that main event, Jack Catterall, Arnold Barboza Jr., an adamant feeling from both sides that one of them will win via stoppage. On your behalf and on Jack's behalf, how does that stoppage come about?
Listen, Jack can punch way harder than his record suggests, and I think you've seen in the last few fights, because he's been fighting at such a high level, it's always difficult to get the guys out of there, and he can really punch solidly. He's dropped, like Eddie said there at the press conference, he's dropped quite a few people in his last few fights. He's just not been able to get them out of there. But Barboza, from what I've seen, is defensively he's not as adept as some of Jack's previous opponents, and if that's the case, and Jack can land consistently and clean, then I just believe he'll get him out of there. And if the fight goes the way I think it will go, I think by the time he gets to the 7th and 8th rounds, he should have him where he wants.
I'm just going to ask as well about Teofimo Lopez. Now reports come out last night that he's preparing for a potential bout at Alcatraz. If that proves to be the case, from your understanding, do you expect to see him vacate that title?
Well, it depends what weight, because I'm assuming if he tries to go ahead with a fight at super lightweight, they're going to strip him. If he goes ahead at welterweight, I'm assuming they're going to strip him anyway. So why not strip him? If he's going to try and defend his title, then surely he can't do that without it being against Jack Catterall. So then, if that is the case, so in all scenarios, except in fighting Jack, he has to be stripped. So why not strip him anyway, so the guys can fight for the full title on Saturday? I don't know. Maybe Jack might get that phone call. When are they talking about the fight? April. Yeah, see, that'll be too soon. If they were talking May, middle to end of May, then you know, pick the phone up and call Sam Jones or Eddie Hearn, because I'm sure Jack will take the fight if that was the case. But if he's not going to fight Jack and he's going to move up in weight, or he's not going to defend the title, then just give it up.
I was just looking for that just to make sure it was April that I saw, if I was not correct with that. But I was going to ask you, if say Teofimo went down another route and he didn't fight Jack, would you say that he's ducked Jack, or would you say not if he's going in for a big fight?
I don't think that would be a plausible scenario, because the WBO have outright said Teofimo's got to fight Jack next, and within the next 3 months, or he's going to be stripped. So if that scenario doesn't unfold and he doesn't fight Jack, then he has to be stripped, and I'm assuming then Jack gets elevated to full champion. But I don't really want that to happen, even though Jack will then end up world champion. But I'd rather him win it in the ring on the night, so he can celebrate it like he should be allowed to do.
Got my dates wrong, Jamie. It's actually June, July times being explored.
But there you go, and if that's the case, then perfect. So yeah, get on the phone, guys. Yeah, get Jack over there. Let's go to Alcatraz. Lock it in.
There's a good little quip there, Jamie. I was going to give you a couple of things. I was this past weekend, Derek Chisora versus Otto Wallin here at this arena. Did you catch the fight? What did you make of it, if so?
I haven't seen the fight. In all honesty, and everyone was asking me about coming down here and stuff, and I was like, listen, if I don't have to be at a boxing show, I don't want to go, because I'm at a boxing show nearly every weekend. So I didn't actually catch it, I've got to be honest. But I heard that he's a good performance by Del Boy. He's rolling back the years.
Who do you want to see him go out on in terms of his final fight?
Listen, I'm being honest. I would like it to not see him fighting anymore. You know, I think everyone would agree with that. He's had such a good career, and he's a cult hero in the sport. But the longer you go on, you know, the more plausible it will be that in future you'll have problems, and I don't want that to happen to anyone. So I'd just like to see him get out healthy and happy, and surely he's earned a few quid. I've seen rumours about, you know, or people saying they'd like him to fight AJ or Dillian Whyte and people like that. Like, they're not easy fights. You know, both of those guys can really whack. But in a weird sort of way, I wouldn't mind seeing that trilogy, Dillian Whyte versus Derek Chisora. It's a good fight. Both the other fights was good to watch, and if he is going to have one more, then why not go out in style with a fight like that?
Just on the theme of Dillian, the big nights keep coming back here to Manchester because he's obviously fighting Joe Joyce next. Yeah. What do you make of that heavyweight slugfest?
I think Dillian Whyte's probably gonna win that one. I think maybe Joe's past his best now, I believe, and you know he's been a good servant, and he's had some great wins. Tough as old boots, but when you get to the stage of your career where that accumulation of punishment starts to take its toll and your punch resistance isn't the same, then you know it's time to get out. So I'd like to see Joe walk away, but I feel like Dillian Whyte will win that one, and it'll be a big win for him.
See him stopping him on that note?
I think so, yeah. I mean, like, Dillian Whyte's ruthless. He's a good finisher. He's very heavy-handed, and I can't see anything other than that.
I just want to squeeze one more out of you, Jamie. A man who you're probably fed up of talking about because you spoke about him so much, Josh Taylor. He's returning against Echo Esserman up at 147 now. What do you make of that? The right move on his behalf to move up to 147 now? Yeah,
I mean, listen, if he's going to move up and stay up there, then best of luck to him. But I don't know if it's not an easy fight. So you know, Josh he's had a fantastic career, and he's obviously getting towards the stage where he's going to be coming towards the end. So he's probably a logical move to move up in weight, because it always gets more difficult the older you get. But picking a fight like that at this stage, you know, it's not an easy fight. Physically, it's going to be a bit of a dogfight, and you don't want too many of them later on in your career. But listen, best of luck to him. Whatever the rest of his career holds for him, I wish him the best of luck.
I appreciate your time, Jamie. I told you I'd be about 5 minutes. I've ended up being about 10, so I apologise for that. Good luck with everybody on Saturday, and I'll see you on Fight Night.
Cheers, mate.